Welcome everyone to tonight's music and meditation program. We're glad you've chosen to join us for this special occasion where we're very excited to have musician Stephen Day with us. He's going to be performing on the Indian Sarod. So Stephen has worked for over 20 years as a composer, a producer, an instrumentalist, a vocalist, and a teacher. And after studying the Sarod with world-renowned Sarod player Ustad Amjad Ali Khan in India for 3 years, he embarked on various tours throughout the world. He works in multiple genres, including Western classical, Indian classical, jazz, folk, and rock music. Stephen Day's performance career has taken him to 21 countries throughout Europe, North America, and Asia. Stephen practices Sahaja Yoga meditation, which is a really unique form of meditation with the process of raising your inner energy, which is known as our Kundalini energy. So starting at the base of the spine, this very beautiful, motherly, conscious energy force rises up, enlightening the whole nervous system and reaching its destination at the top of the head. And you can see on the screen here where it's located in the sacrum bone, which is the yellow triangle down at the bottom. And when you place your hand slightly above your head, you may actually feel the Kundalini energy coming out as a warm or even a cool breeze. And when you leave your attention just above your head, you enter this state of meditation. It's called self-realization. And you feel connected here to not only yourself, but the whole world around you. And so this is a really comforting feeling that you're part and parcel of a bigger reality. And it gives you really great feelings of relief as you're able to just leave unwanted feelings and thoughts here, just slightly above your head. This meditation method was founded by Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who is on the upper left corner of the screen, and she spent her life awakening the Kundalini of thousands of people all over the world. So let's together begin to raise this energy a few times. So we can actually just take our hand and just put it at the very base of your torso in front of you, and then just slowly lift it up with your hand facing up and just raise it up, and we want it to come right here to the top of the head, so you can gently just set it back down. And we'll do that again. And maybe one more time. And now we'll see if we can just leave our thoughts here over the top of our head so they don't disturb us, and we enter this peaceful place. And we can listen to Stephen play his first musical piece known as a raga. We'll explain more later in detail about the musical performance. Thank you, Steve. Really wonderful. So let's just continue to enjoy this meditative state that's really enhanced by this instrument, by this music. We can again just take our hand, raise up the energy, gently place it on the top of the head, just slowly, a couple of times. Gently drawing the attention to the top of the head so this Kundalini energy can do its work within us to balance us, cleanse and nourish and take all the stress away. We can go ahead and even just place our hand just on our heart, and we can just say inside to our spirit, I wish to feel the peace of who I really am. This spiritual place within me that's full of love, full of joy. I wish to feel connected with that higher self. Really, inside ourselves, we really are the essence of purity and of love. And again, we'll slowly take the energy, raise it up. And this time you can actually just place the hand on the top of the head, right in the center. You can press down a little bit. Having our attention here helps to guide this energy to this place at the crown of the head, where it emerges and unites us with this all-pervading power that's all around us. So just from your heart, you can say, I wish to be connected with this power, with this divine consciousness, with this motherly energy within me. And then you can just, again, take the hand down, leave the attention at the top of the head, and just surrender your thoughts there. And we'll listen to the next musical piece and keep our attention in this quiet space. At this point, we're happy to have you type in any questions that you have in the chat for the artist. And while we're waiting for those questions come in, Steve, I can just start by asking maybe if you could tell us a little bit why you chose the Sarod as your instrument.
I chose the Sarod. Well, they say, you know, that you don't really choose your instrument, as in a lot of things in life. The instrument chooses you. So that would be, certainly in my case, that was the case. I was a guitar player, and I'd been playing guitar since my very young days. And then I was starting to fool around with some East-West kind of compositions without really knowing it. And then actually, I finished a CD or an album and then presented that. I gave it to Srimataji, who had been, you know, taken an interest in my music, and then listened to it and advised me and said, you know, why don't you mix Indian music into your songs and put the Sarod or the sitar at the beginning and then bring it back in the middle. And to do so, why don't you come to a music school called the Nagpur Music Academy at the time, and that Srimataji had created with her brother in India. And so she invited me to go, and I went thinking that I would play Indian slide guitar. For those of you who play guitar, I was playing around with detuning the guitar, so I was kind of playing it in a style that was Indian. But when I did get to Nagpur, someone saw me, another student saw me playing the guitar, just fooling around the guitar, and I think they said that to the director, named Baba Mama affectionately, which means the uncle, you know, Baba Mama. And he said, Steve, I think you should play the Sarod. And so I did, and then that's it. It's never been the same since, and I've played the Sarod since that day. Later on, it's interesting to get these things. Later on, you start to see back at what happened while you were kind of being prepared to do something that was meant to be. And one of the things was, you know, while I was going through that period of time, before going to India, I went through a period of time where I was working, you know, to get the money and stuff to get to India. I did a number of sort of small jobs, different types of jobs. I actually worked on a tugboat at one point, going from Seattle to Vancouver, and I had time because I really only had to be on the tugboat to be the person who was both American and Canadian, which I am. So I really just played guitar on a tugboat back and forth from Seattle to Vancouver for quite some time. And while I was doing that, I was discovering this new tuning, which turned out, later I found out, turned out to be the same tuning as the Sarod. And again, for those of you music buffs keeping track, that's fourths and fifths. So this is the tonic and this is the fourth. And this is the tonic, that's the fifth. So those are called perfect intervals. Again, for those music buffs keeping track. And but I was being prepared clearly, and the choice was not really mine, because I, in my own brain, had chosen a different instrument, but it just didn't work out that way. So
Sometimes life just takes you in a different direction, right?
Yeah, and you don't know why, and then eventually, maybe, if you're lucky, you kind of piece it back together and realize, oh yeah, that's why that happened, and that's why that happened, and then this one happened, and you know, it all becomes quite an amazing story when you realize all the pieces were kind of flowing in the right direction and kind of set up without you knowing it.
Right, right. Great. Any other questions coming in? While we're waiting, we can comment. There is a website if you'd like to learn more about Stephen Day and his music. It's just simply StephenDayMusic.com. Another interesting thing to note is that after studying Sarod in India, Stephen actually traveled with Srimataji Nirmala Devi, our founder, and she's actually been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. So it's a very acclaimed person, and he played the Sarod to help open up Sahaja yoga meditation programs in different countries that he traveled to. So lots of work there. You can see here on the screen, there's Facebook, there's YouTube, lots of different ways to get in touch there. And there's also a newsletter that he's has that you can sign up for. Okay, and any final questions coming in? Stephen, we really thank you so much for being here tonight. This has been a real joy, a real honor. I know for those who have been meditating, you could probably feel the way that the music enhances the meditation. Just amazing vibrations, the energy that we can feel. If you haven't already had Sahaja Yoga meditation experience, you're welcome to join. We have 20 minutes self-realization class that you can join online, given by Sri Mataji herself. There's also this YouTube channel that you can subscribe to. You can also find local classes near you, probably online at this point, maybe hopefully soon in person. And our classes are always free of charge. Sri Mataji, that was part of what her philosophy was, that this system of inner energy is already inside of us, and there's no point in charging money for it. It's just something we need to be shown and guided in how to use. So with that, join us next week. We have another musician joining us same time next week. Her name is Shivangi, a young woman who is working on her master's in piano performance in California. And we will be enjoying her music next week.
Yeah, we have a question that just came in. A couple people were mentioning that this is a very exotic instrument and wanted a little more information about the Sarod.
Great. Stephen, would you be able to comment a little bit more about the instrument itself?
Sure, yeah. It's 21 strings. I usually talk about this between the two pieces, but it was so meditative, I didn't want to disturb anything. And that's the beauty of this instrument, is that it's really made to play music that is made for meditation. As you all know, music has a purpose in many parts of our life. Some people play music to dance, some people play music to, travel with or whatever. Lots of types of music. But this is the music for meditation. Indian classical music is based on ragas, which are pieces of music, quite long, a lot longer than a pop song, that are tuned to certain notes that harmonize with the time of the day or the season or our chakras. And the two pieces I played were in harmony with the seventh chakra, the Sahasrara chakra, which of course is the sort of the new frontier in terms of spiritual seeking. It takes us within ourselves, and then as we learn surrender, then we get to experience deeper parts of ourself. And so that inner journey is facilitated by the Sarod and other Indian classical music instruments. And for the Sarod itself, it's because of the slides and glides that give it its particular sound. So I play that with my fingernails on the left hand. On the right hand, I'm playing a coconut shell pick, which, lots of stories there. One time I lost my pick just before my gig. This was in Germany, and I had to find a corner store, break a coconut shell, and use a nail file to create a new one. And just before the concert started, I managed to finish making my own coconut shell pick just in time. But that's another story. But coconut shell pick on the right hand, and slides and glides up the fretless metal neck. Allow us to realize a kind of a different depth of emotion than we would otherwise. When we just play the notes, we get something like this. Which, works in some levels. It works for harmony, but it's not as devotional as one could say. There's something called bhakti in Indian language, Indian music, Indian culture. And bhakti is that effort to pull at the heart in complete surrender. And so all of this brings us deeper into our meditation and facilitates, like I said, a deeper meditation. Just to close on the Sarod, is a very heavy piece. It's one solid piece of wood, so it's relatively heavy. It's not lighter like a guitar or a sitar. And the silver metal strings are made from piano strings. There's a drum-like surface over here. And didn't play it too hard today, so you didn't hear too much of that, but you can hit the coconut shell against there, and there's a drum-like atmosphere. Usually played with a tabla, which is a percussion-based instrument, and the two usually go back and forth in kind of playful and mathematically playful style with a lot of improvisation. So that's kind of a rundown on what the Sarod is. Again, as you said in the bio, I studied with the great master, legendary Ustad Amjad Ali Khan, and his website is sarod.com. So that's a place where you can go into deeper exploration of the Sarod. And you can also, my YouTube channel is set up to have kind of like radio or playlists. I've created kind of playlists that my favorites, but according to the time of day. So if you're in the morning, if you listen to morning ragas, you'll find them particularly powerful. And I've got a whole playlist there that you can pick and choose from, or just let run for 2-3 hours whilst doing other things. And then in the evening, there's a different playlist. And in the nighttime, like at midnight or later, deep night, there's a different type of raga that you would want to play. So the simple, easy thing to do to get acquainted with these pieces is just to make sure that when you're picking a piece to listen to, wherever, online, or if you want to go to my YouTube channel, I think at the links there, everything's kind of organized that way. And then you can meditate to those things in a kind of a maximum fashion. It extends your meditative state for hours.
Well, I think that wraps up our program. Thank you again. Join us next week, and we will hope to see you then. Everyone have a wonderful night.